Hey guys, here we go into this craziness. So I've decided what I'm gonna do, which seems to make the most sense to me, is I'm gonna combine this week and next week, and just give you that whole time to work on your essay. So instead of kind of breaking up and doing all these small assignments, I'm just gonna have you work on your essay and then submit it. Okay. So originally I was just gonna make it due that Tuesday night. So the day before Wednesday, which we have off, which is the day before Thanksgiving, which I should know that date, the 24th. Um, but what I've decided to do, and you can thank my cute wife who's nice, is I'm going to give you the whole Thanksgiving break too to work on it. My goal is that you're just done on Tuesday, so you can just enjoy your Thanksgiving break. But if you need extra time, then you're going to have it. So your final draft of your essay is going to be due the 29th. Okay. So the 29th at 11:59. And I'm not accepting any lates on essays. It's so hard to have late essays come in because they already take so long to grade. And we'll have been working on this essay, I mean, just the writing of the essay for a month, let alone that we've been doing all these little pieces up to it. So there really is no excuse to have your essay late. I'll send an email out to your parents so they know this. So if you do not turn in your essay November 29th by 11:59, you get 0 out of 100 points, and it's going to be really, really hard to pass this quarter. Okay. So I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to give you a heads up right now so you kind of know what's at stake and what's going to happen. So originally I was going to have you peer review. I was going to do peer review intros and then peer review body paragraphs, but I think that's just going to be too hard all online without me able to kind of monitor it. So you are assigned a peer review for intro. So if you want to look at it, so if you want to see what someone else did for their intro to kind of see, are you on the right track, then please feel free and do that. That's totally great. But I'm not going to make it assignment. So if you see like, oh, you were assigned an intro paragraph to peer review, I'm not going to actually make that a grade, so don't worry about it. So then what you're just going to work on for the next week and a half is finishing your essay. So hopefully the intro paragraph went well. I'll be grading those and I'll give you comments so you know what's going on. At any time during the next week and a half, if you want to schedule a writing conference, I am more than happy to do writing conferences so we can go over whatever you need help with or just see if you're on the right track or whatever it is, because I know this is a different type of genre than a lot of you are used to writing. So take advantage of that. I promise, like, I'm the one grading it, so why wouldn't you want me like to sneak peek and tell you like, oh, fix this, this, and this, and then you'll get a good grade, right? But you know, that's just me being crazy. So it's up to you what you want to do. Um, so your intro paragraph, hopefully that's good. The biggest thing is that if you have a good thesis, right? And I'll be making sure that you guys do have a good thesis. But that should drive your paragraph because I mean the rest of your essay. Because whatever's in your thesis is what you're going to do for the rest of the essay. So if you talked about your speech having lots of humor, if you talked about it having ethos, pathos, logos, then those are going to be what you address in your body paragraphs. Okay. So in your body paragraph, you want to start with like your topic sentence. And I know this is like going back to, you know, when you first learned to write is like topic sentence, right? But a lot of us forget that you need a topic sentence. So your first sentence, and a lot of times people view it as a transition sentence, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a transition as much as just a clarifying, right? Your thesis tells you what your whole essay is going to be about, and your topic sentence says what your whole paragraph is going to be about. So anything in your paragraph should match your topic sentence. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't need to be in that paragraph. So for instance, say you want to talk about ethos, okay? So this paragraph is going to be about ethos. So then you'd say like, in such and such speech by so and so, they use ethos as a way to appeal to their audience. Perfect topics, right? Now I know that whole paragraph is going to be about ethos. So we have our topic sentence, okay, which usually sets up what's our point, what's our main reason, and then we need to go into actually like giving support from that. So this is where you'd put a quote from your speech, right? So in the speech, he says this, right? Quote it. If you're directly quoting, you can still paraphrase, that's fine. But if you directly quote, make sure it's in in quotation marks, and then have your parenthetical citation in parentheses, right? So if you don't actually have page numbers on your speech, then you're just going to do paragraph numbers, and then that's totally fine, right? So you'll have a quote from, so your actual evidence, right? So a quote from your speech, and then you need to explain it, right? What does this say? Why was that ethos? So you need to explain, how is the author establishing yourself as credible? How did your quote use ethos? How are they making that connection? And then you kind of want to end your paragraph with this tie back to your thesis, right? Because everything goes together. So then you're going to explain, how did them doing that make it so they appealed so that they got their purpose to their audience? Right? Because the whole point of rhetorical analysis is you're showing what techniques, what devices, what choices, whatever it is that you want to call it, what did the author do in order to get their message to their audience? So that's what you need to show then. You kind of have, and we call it a warrant. So if you guys are familiar with that term, that's what it is, right? But the warrant does is it connects, right, that evidence that you just did back to your thesis. Right? By the author establishing himself as credible, the reader is going to trust him and be able to take his message on. Right? It really is simple. It doesn't have to be some huge elaborate thing, but you have to make the connection. The author was making a specific decision because he knew by establishing himself as credible, that would get his purpose to his audience, right? They'd be more willing to trust him. They would listen to him, and then they think, oh yeah, his whatever the purpose is makes sense. And I know I'm saying his, it could be her, whatever, but just keep that in mind. Okay, and that's what you're going to do in your body paragraphs. And then your conclusion, you're just going to wrap everything up. So normally what I say is you're just going to restate all your topic sentences. And that's like, how easy is that? So you go through your paragraph, what were my topic sentences? I'm going to restate them. I'm going to then restate my thesis and then some sort of takeaway. And there's lots of different ways. It can be a call to action. It can be something that you want your readers to think about. Some people view it as a mic drop moment. So whatever, but your conclusion's really easy because you shouldn't have any new information in your conclusion. So you don't want any quotes, okay, anything like that in your conclusion, because all you're doing is summing up what you already said. And the easiest way is just go through, sum up your topic sentences, restate your thesis, and then you have your takeaway ending. And that's what it is. Okay. So I'm not giving you you have to have this many paragraphs. I know a lot of you feel comfortable writing a 5-paragraph essay. So if that's what you feel comfortable with, then that's totally great. Write a 5-paragraph essay. If you want to write a 4-paragraph essay, if you want to write a 7-paragraph essay, all of that's fine. What I do care about is the page length. Okay. So you have to have at least 2 full pages. Not 1.5, not 1 3/4, at least 2. So I'd say 2 to 3 pages is what you're shooting for. And that to me would be enough analysis that you did a good job of analyzing the speech and doing a rhetorical analysis. So that's kind of what you're shooting for, is that 2 to 3 pages. So that's what I care about more than it needs to be a 5-paragraph essay. So whatever kind of works for you. If you have, I have 5 different rhetorical choices I want to talk about, so I'm going to have 5 maybe littler paragraphs, but still you have to make sure you're using evidence, you're explaining your evidence, and you're tying your evidence back to your thesis. Okay, so you need to make sure you're doing that within all your paragraphs. But then however many paragraphs you want is totally up to you, and that's fine. Okay, so that's kind of what you're going to be doing for the next week and a half. You're just going to work on your essay. So I'm not going to require like a rough draft due one day. I'm just going to, it's due Sunday, November. I'm still in September, guys. November 29th at 11:59 p.m. And you cannot turn it in late. And I'll send reminders and I'll email and all that good stuff. So what I am going to have you do is I'm going to have you do a self-assessment before you turn it in, or you'll just answer questions about your essay. And you can take the self-assessment. I'm going to make it like a quiz, but you can take it unlimited times, okay, until the due date. And it'll have like, did you make sure that your font's all in Times New Roman? And then you're going to answer yes or no. And then if you answer no, you need to go back and fix those things. And then you can retake the quiz till you're answering yes on everything or you're getting 100% on the quiz. And that hopefully will help you make sure that you have all the pieces that you need to have in your essay. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Hopefully that makes this online time easy, because all you need to do is kind of work on your essay, and then hopefully we can be back in school after Thanksgiving break and start on our new thing, because we'll finish our, we've been working on rhetorical analysis and rhetoric for a while, so we'll be able to kind of mix it up and start something new. So make sure you read the announcement, which explains everything about attendance and Zoom links and all that fun stuff. Otherwise, just work on your essays and let me know if you have questions. Hope you're all being safe and smart and not going crazy as we're online for the next 2 weeks. Okay, let me know if you have questions. Email me. Otherwise, be good, and I'll see you guys soon.